From the outside, a truck stop looks like everything a driver could want after a long day on the road. Warm food, hot showers, fuel, a parking lot big enough to fit dozens of trucks. It looks like someone specifically designed a place just for them. So why do so many truck drivers dread spending the night there? It isn't the food. It isn't the showers. And it has absolutely nothing to do with being tired. The problems are deeper than that, and they start long before the driver ever closes his eyes. Here's something most people don't realize. By the time the average person is sitting down for dinner, a lot of truck drivers have already stopped moving for the night. Not because they're exhausted, not because something went wrong, but because if they wait any longer, there might not be a single legal parking space left anywhere within driving distance. Think about that for a second. A driver with hours still left on the clock, fuel in the tank, perfectly legal to keep going, already parked. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes earlier, it sounds like laziness from the outside. It's actually the opposite. Federal regulations cap how many hours a driver can operate each day. When those hours run out, the truck stops. Full stop. No flexibility, no grace period, no exceptions. And here's the thing. Every truck on that highway is running on the same federal clock. Hundreds of drivers all hitting their limit within the same window. All heading for the same rest stops, the same truck stops, the same handful of legal places to park a 70-foot vehicle overnight. The math doesn't work. There simply aren't enough spots. Research into America's truck parking crisis has found that at peak hours, a single open space can have up to 5 trucks competing for it. 5 trucks. 1 spot. And the clock ticking down for all of them at once. So experienced drivers learned a long time ago, don't wait. Get there early or don't get there at all. Drive past a major truck stop around 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you'll see exactly what that competition looks like. Trucks lined up on the exit ramp, engines running, nobody moving. Every marked space already taken. Drivers crawling through the lot at walking pace, watching for brake lights, waiting for someone to pull out. Some give up and move on to the next stop down the highway. Sometimes that one's full too. Eventually, someone gets lucky, finds a space, shuts the engine down. Workday over. Or at least, that's what it looks like from the outside. Because the moment that engine goes quiet, a whole new problem begins. The driver climbs into the bunk, pulls the curtain, closes his eyes, and the lot comes alive around him. Refrigerated trailers don't shut off overnight. They can't. The freight inside, produce, meat, dairy, needs to stay cold. So those units run. All night. Diesel engines humming constantly, just a few feet from where he's trying to sleep. That's not even the worst of it. Trucks don't stop arriving at midnight. Or 2 a.m. Or 4 a.m. Every hour, new arrivals. Air brakes releasing with a sharp hiss. Cab doors swinging open and slamming shut. Engines cutting off. Engines starting back up. A driver backing a trailer into the spot right next to him, headlights cutting straight through the curtain. There's no way to block it out completely. The walls of a sleeper cab are thin. The curtain helps with light, not with sound. And the lot never actually goes quiet. Not at 1 a.m., not at 3 o'clock, not at 5 o'clock. Most drivers don't get real sleep here. They get pieces of it. An hour, then awake. 2 hours, then awake. Drifting in and out, night after night, for an entire career. But the noise is only part of the problem. Because not everything that wakes a driver up in the middle of the night is mechanical. Sometimes it's a knock on the cab door. At 1 o'clock in the morning, in a parking lot full of strangers, truck stops are open to everyone. No fences, no gate attendants, no security checkpoint. Anyone can walk in at any hour, and plenty of people do. Most of them are harmless. Lost, confused, looking for directions. Some aren't. Cargo theft is a massive problem in the trucking industry, costing billions of dollars every year. And the most common location where it happens isn't on the highway. It's in unsecured parking lots. Exactly the kind every driver sleeps in every night. A thief doesn't need to overpower anyone. A blade dragged along the side of a trailer takes seconds. Fuel lines can be drained while the driver sleeps 10 feet away, completely unaware. So drivers adapt. Some travel with a dog, not for companionship, but for the bark. Some run cameras on the trailer doors through the night. Extra locks, motion sensors, whatever adds a few seconds of warning. Because in a lot with no fence and no guard, a few seconds is sometimes the difference between catching it and finding out in the morning when it's already too late. And here's the part that makes all of this so much harder to solve. It isn't a problem with one truck stop. It isn't a problem with one region or one bad stretch of highway. It's everywhere. And it's been everywhere for decades. Transportation researchers have been documenting America's truck parking shortage for more than 20 years. The conclusion has stayed the same the entire time. The number of trucks on American roads has grown steadily. The number of legal overnight parking spaces has not kept up. Not in rural states, not along major corridors, not anywhere. Drivers look for alternatives. Rest areas seem like an obvious one. Free, accessible, no reservation required. But by evening, most are already full, and some states impose time limits on how long a commercial vehicle can stay, which means a driver who parked at midnight might get a knock from a state trooper at 4 a.m., telling him to move on. For years, Walmart was the backup plan. Enormous lots, free, and most locations were happy to accommodate. That's changing fast. Noise complaints, ordinance changes, liability concerns, one bad incident at a location that's been welcoming trucks for a decade, and the sign goes up the next week. No trucks, no exceptions. So when the rest areas are full and the Walmarts say no and the truck stops ran out of space 2 hours ago, what's left? For a lot of drivers, nothing legal. Highway shoulders, exit ramps, the edge of an industrial access road. Parked and hoping nobody notices until sunrise. It isn't safe, it isn't comfortable. In most states, it's technically illegal. But ask any driver what they'd rather have: a ticket in the morning or driving exhausted past their legal limit searching for a space that doesn't exist, and the answer is always the same: the ticket. So after all of that, the noise, the danger, the endless search, the illegal shoulder park, why do drivers keep coming back to truck stops at all? Because despite everything, a truck stop still has things nothing else out here offers. A real shower after 12 hours on the road. A hot meal at a table, not eaten standing in a parking lot. Diesel at the pump without driving 30 miles off route. Wi-Fi strong enough to actually make a video call home. A mechanic close by if something starts making a noise it shouldn't. And something harder to put a number on. Other drivers. People living the exact same schedule, making the exact same trade-offs, carrying the exact same weight, figuratively and literally. For some drivers, a truck stop diner is the only place all day they have a real conversation with another human being face to face. That matters. More than most people on the outside ever understand. So a crowded, noisy lot full of idling engines still beats the alternative. Because the alternative is a dark shoulder on a highway with no lights, no people, and no help if something goes wrong. Not perfect, but better. And on a long haul, better is usually good enough. Experienced drivers don't fight the system anymore. They learn to work around it. The veterans plan their days in reverse. They pick where they're sleeping first, then build the route backward from there. That 2 p.m. stop that looks so strange from the outside, that's not a driver quitting early. That's a driver who's been burned enough times to know that waiting until 6 o'clock means sleeping on a shoulder. Others skip the truck stop entirely when they can. If tomorrow's delivery is at a warehouse or distribution center, park there the night before. Quiet lot. No competition. Short walk to the dock in the morning. Some have a network of spots built over years. A rest area in one state, a business lot in another, a stretch of road where the enforcement is light and the ground is level. None of it's in any guidebook. All of it was learned one bad night at a time. And then there are team drivers, 2 people, 1 truck. One sleeps while the other drives. The truck never stops long enough to need a parking space. No 2 p.m. panic, no circling a full lot at sunset. It comes with its own challenges. Sharing 30 square feet with another person around the clock isn't easy. But the parking problem? Essentially solved. For solo drivers, the search never fully ends. It just gets a little more strategic every year. Tonight, while most people fall asleep in quiet rooms without thinking twice about it, thousands of truck drivers will be out there looking for a single place to legally park and close their eyes. Some will find one early. Some will spend hours searching. Some will end up somewhere they're not supposed to be, setting an alarm for before sunrise so they can move before anyone notices. No real silence. No real security. No guarantee of sleep. Just a curtain, a thin metal wall, and a parking lot that hums and hisses and rumbles all the way through to morning. It's one of the biggest parts of the job, and almost nobody outside of it ever thinks about it at all. So here's my question for you. If you drive a truck, what's the worst night you've ever had trying to find a place to park? Drop it in the comments. I want to read every single one. And if you've never sat behind the wheel of a semi, be honest. Did you know any of this was happening? Let me know below. If this opened your eyes a little, hit like and subscribe. Because the people keeping the shelves stocked and the freight moving deserve a lot more understanding than they get. And that's exactly what this channel is here for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.